Hello, I'm Kads, and welcome to today's video. For my fellow Americans, I hope you guys are surviving the heat wave going on right now. Out here in the Pacific Northwest, we don't really have AC, and so it is blisteringly hot outside and inside. So I do apologize a little bit if you can hear my portable AC unit running here in the background, but I am trying to not be sweating inside my own house. But essentially, this is life out here until the fall comes around and we return to our standard Pacific Northwest type weather with all of the rain and mist and loveliness. But anyways, what we're here to actually talk about is the latest iteration of the summon pool, specifically the supporters summon pool. So we have a collection of a pretty decent amount of good legendaries and epics, I think, across the board. We have Wither the Crowned, one of the best healers in the entire game, with White Queen and Cora, previous fusion, but pretty decent support. A relatively underrated support, even without White King Narcisse, I might add. Morrigan, previous fusion as well, but very powerful against Ammius. Lady Kimmy, very solid speedster support. Prince Kymar, king of the resets. Grand Oak Padraig, one of the best ally tech champions, specifically for hard mode Fire Knight, or any Fire Knight in general. Duchess, of course, the queen of Perfect Veil and Revival and her passive and stuff. And then Theodore, one of the best solo carries in the entire game for PvE. So essentially, if you get any of the legendaries, I think you'd be pretty happy. Granted, the odds are not that great. 6% chance getting legendary, basically another Sacred Shard, and then 94% chance to get epics. And then for the epics, again, a pretty decent collection of good supports. We have Rectored Wrath in there, like the only Perfect Veil epic basically in the entire game for Hydra purposes. Mordecai, we showcased him in my Spider team, one of the best AoE HP burners, affinity friendly. Ugo, Hydra Goddess. Cornelia, pretty decent, underrated, I would say, for Arena. She's kind of like a Kymar, no reset, no bust strip, but the AoE sleep can be very, very useful. Stag Knight and Deacon, one of the best debuffers, or some of the best debuffers in the game. Aelfrig would be handy for me for pursuing the Lady Mikage fusion. He's one of those epics. Grab, pretty decent support. Faction Wars, Doom Priest, known for a passive. So again, if you get anyone basically outside of like maybe Mausoleum Mage, you'd probably be pretty happy. Epics and or legendaries from this group. So we already talked about the rates, but it is going to cost 35 fragments this go round, and there are two places from which you can get a couple of free air quotes summons. So the first of which being probably the least accessible one, but if you enjoy going ham on Dungeon Divers and you want to get all the way out there to 5,000 points, then you could get yourself a free summon. Again, the collection of champions is pretty decent, epics and legendary, so it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but this is probably not the one that I would grind out all the way this Dungeon Divers to get it. And I think this is the equivalent, or 5,000 points is the equivalent of like 8,000 or 9,000 energy. It's kind of ridiculous. It's not quite 2 to 1, but it's pretty bad. So if you want to invest in that, if you especially if you're going for the fusion already or the fragment summon already, then going the little bit further, relatively speaking, out to 5,000 isn't that bad. But going all the way out there from nothing, not doing the fragment summon to get to 5,000 can be pretty staggering. So just keep that in mind. It's up to you whether or not you feel that that's worth it for you to do. But of course, the more accessible one is of course the Spider Tournament epics only, which I did cover in my video yesterday. You can check it out in the card above, showcasing that team that I used for stage 25. But this is a lot more achievable. We've had 3 days, or will have 3 days in total, to get to 2750 to get yourself a free summon, and that is a lot more realistic, I would say, for a lot more people in order to get at least one free summon. So that is my goal. I plan to go out there and get to this milestone, probably try and compete to see how people are doing here. Obviously, we're not going to catch the 9,000 guy, but maybe we can go all the way out to 3,000. I do have another day in a few hours, or at least another reset of the game. And so we'll see if we can compete and try to get second or third, or maybe top 4, just to get some relentless gear and see if we can get lucky with some good quality stuff. And I think one of the more important things to note as well is that the summon pool will continue on through the champion chase that should be coming around this weekend, starting on Friday. So you should be able to save your free summons, the 1 or 2 that you get, until the champion chase is live, and you're guaranteed at least 250 points if you get an epic, 500 points if you get a legendary. So pretty decent free points, especially if you're doing the fragment summon. That's just one less sacred shard you have to pull. I believe it's supposed to be 2x sacreds, and so that's a really, really great time to have this available in order to save a sacred shard effectively. But in general, it just brings you closer to any rewards you might be going for in the champion chase. So just keep that in mind if you're pursuing the free summons. Just don't pull them until the champion chase is live, just to double dip as far as efficiency is concerned. So yeah, I think by now you guys know the drill for these. There's not really much more to cover, but do let me know in the comment section down below what your individual plan is for this particular iteration of the summon pool. Are you going for the 1 free summon, the 2 free summons, and of course let me know what you happen to get from those free summons. I guess you'd have to come back to this video on Friday to tell me what you did. Hopefully you're being efficient, but I digress. As always, if you did find this video helpful, then be sure to hit that like button down below, and feel free to subscribe subscribe to the channel for more content just like this one in the future. Thanks for watching and have a good one.